As you guys can tell by the thumbnail, we are at the dealership for a oil change and a pulley replacement. If you guys heard that whining in the beginning of the video, that's not a normal operation of the S58. We're barely gonna hit 7,000 miles on the M4 and we're already going in for a service. From what I've been able to tell on the Beamer Post forums or the online forums, guys, is some other M4, M3 users are having a similar issue. Whenever the weather is cold outside, around 30 degrees, some people, when they turn on the car from a cold start, are getting a very loud, obnoxious whine. Some aren't. It's very sporadic and it kind of depends on your car, actually. My car, for example, does not do that. My car just has that intermittent whine. And that whine just kind of comes and goes. It's never constant. One day I might do it, one day I might not do it. What I have noticed though with the whine is the humidity plays a role in it. I live in a dry climate, so 90% of the time it's fairly warm and dry here. When the temperature is like that, the car doesn't whine, it actually runs normal. But when the temperature gets a little colder with some humidity, like a nice cold rainy day like this morning, the car whines again. It is so odd. And what's odd too is with RPMs and revving the motor, the whining goes away. So while I'm under load or I'm driving the car, the whining completely stops. But as soon as we idle, the whining returns sporadically. And it sounds like it's coming from the pulley alternator area. A lot of guys online are saying it's the idler pulley. Apparently there's already a TSB or a service bulletin that BMW announced. I'll go into the dealership, talk to them, see what they have to say. Just waiting for them to open up the gates. I think it's 6:50 right now, so I'm here a little bit early. While I'm here, I think I'm gonna get a rental and see how long the service will take. Car's also getting an oil change, but I'll take a look around the lot, see what they have in stock. Quick little update. It's the next day, guys. We're having pretty bad weather, so I didn't want to film. I am in a loaner car. Basically, initially the service advisor was unable to replicate the issue in the M4. They gave me a call, and what I told them was to warm up the car all the way to operating temperature. Drive it around, let it warm up. Once it gets to operating temperature, let the car idle, which they did. At that point, they were able to replicate the problem. The car started whining again, like in the videos. The service advisor, they have to do this in steps. The service advisor said the first step they're gonna do is replace the belt. Unfortunately, the belt is on back order until Tuesday, so they're gonna be keeping the car until Tuesday. In the meantime, I'm in the loaner car. We're in a 5 Series, a 530 iX. Pretty nice interior. However, once they replace the belt, they're going to do the same procedure to test and see if the whine is still present. Some guys on the forum say once the belt is replaced, the whine completely goes away. Some say it still persists. If the whine still persists, then they're going to replace the idler pulleys and the pulley system, the whole belt system pretty much. But again, we'll play it by ear. In the meantime, I'm in a 5 Series, again, a 530 iX. So far, I'm liking the car. It's a very nice interior, as you guys can see. The outside design, not too sure of. I think they call this Portomono blue, whatever. The design is something you need to get used to. Sorry, my key fob is out from the car. The car's mad at me. It's yelling at me. Some people like it, some people hate it. I'm kind of neutral. I don't hate it, I don't like it. The interior is what shines about these 530 iXs. This is the X-Drive model. In this car, it's the B48. So it's not the B58 in inline 6. This is a 4-cylinder hybrid vehicle. X-Drive does decent acceleration, but nothing too crazy. As you can see, we have the glass or whatever they call it an iDrive 8. I'm still getting used to this. This is actually really complicated to use, especially me coming from iDrive 7. But we'll go from there and kind of take a look around at the car. Again, this is not the B58, this is the B48. It's a mild hybrid system. Basically, I'll do a quick little launch for you guys. Not the best conditions, I'm up a road. Let me actually drive uphill. Never like to floor it when I'm going uphill. I like to see what I'm looking at. And we'll do it from here to kind of give us a nice little runway. This is X-Drive all-wheel drive. I'm gonna hit it in sport mode, kind of disengage everything. Apparently there's a boost function. I don't know how to use that, so we're gonna give it some gas. Ooh, yeah, that was pretty torquey actually. Since we have this as the loaner car, I guess I'd go over a couple of the features and what's different, what I like about it, what I don't compared to the M4. First things first, biggest change is iDrive 8.5. Definitely take some time getting used to just because everything is now touch controlled. So literally everything is touch controlled. Whether you like that or not is up to you. I personally like buttons to press, but that being said, the screen itself is actually really functional. It's very responsive, it's fast. So if you're gonna make everything or something all digital like this infotainment, you might as well make the screen very responsive, which this is. Again, no physical buttons. These are all haptic buttons. To open my vents, I use this. To close my vents, I use the same thing. Same thing over here. And if I want to move my vent around, I use this little knob right here, and that'll get the vent to shoot out these two little corners. Same thing over here, haptic feedback. Close the vent, use that. Open the vent, use this. Open, unlock. Seat adjusting. Set your gauges or your seat positioning. You got touch buttons for your windows, all the usual stuff. The sunroof. Nice perforated leather seats. It's a nice car. And then you got these glass controls too, if that's something you want to use instead. The My Modes. This car does a very poor job of describing what each mode does. Obviously personal, because you customize every little thing about the car. As far as sport, suspension stiffens up, gives you a little bit more peppy pedal response. The car will rev a little bit higher before shifting gears. Efficient, best gas mileage, expressive. To be honest, I don't know what that one does quite yet. All I know is it opens up the sunroof, rolls down the windows, and relax is the least stiff setting. Makes it ride buttery smooth. And digital art is weird. Just has a lady talking about her art. Really don't care about that. iDrive 8, at first, very confused on how to use it, but now that I've gotten used to it, very responsive. You can actually play video games on here if you wanted to. That's because this was supposed to be an electric car too. This car shares the same body as the electric version. So it makes sense that you want to have something to do while you're letting your car charge. Again, this is the B48, so it's a inline 4 with a turbo mild hybrid 48 volt battery. You also get the Bowers & Wilkins surround sound system, which is a pretty good sound system. Back space, rear seats, you actually got a pretty good amount of leg room. The car itself is about as big as a old 7 Series was from about 10 years ago. You got nice little wood grain touches. I actually am a big fan of the interior. The steering wheel takes some time to get used to, but it grew on me. Now, the big question is, would you spend about this car, the way it's spec'd currently right now is spec'd about $66,000. Is this car worth $66,000? I say so, yes. The car handles smooth, it drives nice, it's a really good driver's car, really good features for what it is. Now, can you get another car from a different manufacturer that offers the same kind of versatility, same kind of comfort for probably a little bit more affordable price? Yes, most definitely. But if you're a brand loyalist, you like BMW, you want something a little bit more luxurious, that's not going to rip the bank. Guys, this 530i X-Drive, it's perfect. All-wheel drive, The all-season tires are perfectly good. There's plenty of horsepower and torque for everything you're going to do in this vehicle. For $66,000, I would consider this. I would probably use this more as a daily and a lease than anything else. That being said, I'm definitely sticking with my M4, of course. Things up again, my M4 is in the shop currently. It's getting a belt replacement. Once the belt is replaced, the techs are going to double check and see if the whine is gone. If the whine happens to be gone, then we're good to go. I'll pick up the car hopefully on Tuesday. If the car is not better and it's still whining, then they're gonna order the pulley system and replace the whole pulley system for the entire car. Stay tuned, guys. Head over to the website www.carculture.com. Buy some parts for your cars, and we'll see you guys then.